if you have the mentality, not only the mentality, but also the skills and the vision to transform a room with your camera, you can elevate and attract your next level bride. And that's the way we grow, right? Because if we do the same thing all the time, we're going to keep attracting the same couples that we've been attracting. But if you want to raise your prices and get to the next level, you have to walk away from any type of weddings with at least 5 images that are elevated and that will speak the language of your future bride. So you can attract to that.
Hello and welcome to episode 250 of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. We made it through. Half of the 200s episodes. This is a great one to round off the first half of the 200s. You heard me talk about a couple episodes ago. You heard me talk about the Creative Educator Conference. In episodes 244 and 245, I talked about how to find and decipher which conferences, which workshops are going to be good for you, and you'll get a good return on your investment. And then in that second part episode was more of like taking the things that you learned from that episode or from that conference, taking those things, that knowledge, implementing it into your business instead of just letting it sit in a notepad for years. And in those episodes, I talked a lot about the Creative Educator Conference because I had just left that and really loved it. Layli Amadi, who is the host and who has been on this podcast before, does a great job with that. And Juliana Tomlinson, who is one of my guests. She is my guest. She is the guest today. Juliana and I, we sat next to each other at the Creative Educator Conference, and she is one of many amazing people that I met there, and a few who are going to be on the show later this summer. And she is the first one. So I'm very excited that we were able to connect, and just so excited for this conversation today about just elevating your business to where you want it to be. Juliana is an award-winning photographer, a wedding photographer, and a coach based out of Pennsylvania. And she's helping photographers elevate their brands and charge their worth. She's got a passion for mindset and purpose-driven success while she empowers creatives to build sustainable businesses and thrive beyond the highs and lows of entrepreneurship, which we know all about those highs and lows and the roller coaster that is entrepreneurship. But yeah, today we're talking about elevating. I know a lot of us, from talking to some of you, the listeners, just kind of feel plateaued lately. And maybe you've gotten to that point in your business where you're just like, I want to go further, but it seems like I'm just getting the same bookings and, unable to really book much whenever you raise your prices, and everything's just kind of feeling stagnant. If that is you, buckle in, because Juliana's got so much for you. I really love how in this episode, she really shares how we already have the tools. We already have the things to move on to the next level. And she helps us to kind of figure out how to actually implement those tools and use them for their greatest potential, and like reshape what you're already doing to move you in the direction that you're wanting to go. So let's just get into that episode. Let's get into that conversation with Juliana. Juliana, welcome to the show. I'm excited to have you here and get to talk to you again.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be here. So thank you so much for the invitation and for talking about elevating, because this is something that is so dear to my heart. So it took me a long way, a lot of back roads that I had to figure it out by myself. So I love talking about this, because if I can help one person to avoid the pains that I went through, I'm here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is why I love continuing education and podcasts and conferences and all of that. Is like it helps you to where not everyone has to go through all the back roads and all of the things and all the trial and error and just like, okay, well, that didn't work,
Exactly.
and now I have to start over from zero. And you can like take advice and tips from other people to like jump ahead and get on that fast track, get on the highway instead of the red dirt road where you're like, I don't know what there's no street signs, I don't know where I'm going.
Exactly. It's just kind of like when you ask, okay, Google, can you give me a sum of this book?
Right.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, oopsies.
Yeah. Sorry, Google.
Sorry.
We won't talk so loud.
It wasn't a real thing, Google. Sorry.
We had to change our Alexa's name. And we called it Echo for a while, but now it's the kids change it to Ziggy. And I'm like,
Smart.
Ziggy is not going to come up in like just a regular conversation if I'm on a podcast or something.
I was about to say that it's not going to pop up on a podcast when it's supposed to. Okay, thanks, Google.
But yeah, nice little cameo. But yeah, Juliana, can you give us a little background about where you are, what you do, and all the things?
Yeah, I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So the accent is not Pennsylvania Dutch, even though I'm surrounded by Amish. I grew up in Brazil, was born and raised in Brazil. I came to the United States in 2008. I was a journalism student, and my dream was to cover the war and become an international journalist. So I was like, you know what? I need to go to the United States, work on my English so I can travel the world and cover the war. Joke's on me. I do not work with journalism, even though I still use a lot of my degree in what I do.
I was going to say, I can see the overlap there with what you do. Yeah.
I still use a lot of things that I learned. My degree is actually in journalism, TV, and studio production. So, I can still use a lot of things. But I'm a wedding photographer now. Love what I do. Don't cover war, just love, peace and love. Yes. No war over here. But I'm also a wedding coach for other wedding photographers. I have one son, my miracle baby, Theo. He's 7. And we have one dog that is at my feet now. So he thinks he's the CEO of my company.
Yep.
And my husband, Greg. So we live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Very cool. Yeah. No, it is the amount of pets that I have found out are just like in the room while we're recording. Like it is we don't have any pets. I grew up with a ton. We had when I turned, right before I turned 12, we moved to the country, and it was just like, we had so many dogs and cats and goats and all the things. So they were everywhere. And for whatever reason, we do not have any pets. And it is always just like, oh, there's a dog. There's been a dog in the room the whole time. Okay, they're so quiet.
I really hope he stays quiet because he's a Chihuahua Poodle mix. So he usually a joke that he looks like a Poodle, but he's as loud as a Chihuahua. So he's at my feet right now. So I joke that he's the CEO of the company because wherever I go, he is right after me. So yeah.
No, yeah, Chihuahua energy definitely gives CEO. Just like I am in charge. Don't look at how big I am. Like my personality is bigger.
He's 7.5 pounds. So
yeah,
he just thinks that he's the boss.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep. Well, okay. Well, I'm excited to get into like elevating our work. We were both at the Creative Educator Conference, which was like over a month ago now.
I can't believe it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a month.
It feels like it was like I just got back like a week or two ago, but yeah, it's been over a month. But like we got to sit next to each other and meet each other. And then like, as soon as you started talking about how you help people like take what they're already doing and elevate it in a way to like get to where they're wanting, I was like, you need to be on the podcast. Like this sounds so great. Because a lot of us don't know what we already have. We just see what we want to get to and don't realize like, you can actually elevate the things that you're currently doing.
Yes, absolutely. And this is one of the excuses that I hear so often. Like, oh, it's easy for you because of X. Oh, it's easy for you because you work with planners. It's
Mm.
easy for you because your clients have X amount of money to spend on flowers. Oh, it's easy for you because you photographed in Paris. It's not. It's not. It's first of all, it's never easy, but yes, it becomes a little bit more glamorous as you grow, but you can never use that as an excuse not to grow to the next level because there are ways for you to actually elevate your work where you are today. If you're charging $1,000, if you have the mentality, not only the mentality, but also the skills and the vision to transform a room with your camera, you can elevate and attract your next level bride, and that's the way we grow, right?
Yeah.
Because if we do the same thing all the time, we're going to keep attracting the same couples that we've been attracting. But if you want to raise your prices and get to the next level, you have to walk away from any type of weddings with at least 5 images that are elevated and that will speak the language of your future bride,
Mm.
so you can attract to that.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of the photographers that I talk to around here, because we're like Central Texas, lots of flat plains, nothing going on, and a lot of barn weddings, a lot of barn
Oh yeah,
venues, and which I'm sure
Lancaster,
y'all have that.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
y'all have a lot of that in Pennsylvania too. But like so many people are just like, ugh, another barn wedding, and I booked another barn wedding, so I'm not going to be able to use any of these photos. And like they're like that idea that you were just have 5 photos that are elevated. You don't have to do the whole thing. It's not like trying to make the day look something that it's not. Like you
Yes.
still need to show up for the clients that hired you to photograph their day in the way that that day looks. But then like, how can we maybe like set aside or even like plan for those 5 shots to have that elevated portfolio?
Absolutely. And usually I joke that on a wedding that you have three bosses, right? So I have the bride and groom who
Mm.
hired me. I have a planner if the couple do have a planner, and I have my future brides because they are the one demanding my work to be the best, right? So for my bride and groom, for those that paid me to be in the room, I'm going to photograph everything they put out. If the decor has one flower, one little bloom, I'm going to photograph that, right? So I walk in a room, I photograph for the first boss, my bride and groom. They paid me to do this. Okay, now it's the planner. Do they have a planner? Okay, did she set, I don't know, like fork in a line or by the bottom or a line by the top? All right, I'm going to photograph that for her. And now it's for my future bride and groom, my future ones, the ones that I want to attract. So let's say if I photograph this wedding and I post these images are not going to speak the language of the bride and groom that I want to attract. So I already photographed that, all those photos for my bride and groom, current, my planner. How can I now photograph what I have in front of me and attract my next level client, because I don't have the budget or the weddings to photograph and to present photos that will speak the language of my future bride. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll carry the flowers with me. They have one arrangement. Their arrangement's gonna go with me. I'm gonna photograph as it is, and then I'm gonna put the arrangement under my arm, and I'm gonna go to the bar, photograph the drinks. That arrangement is gonna go with me. I'm elevating a little by little with whatever I have in front of me to deliver. So, bride and groom, planners, and my future clients. Always. This is constantly running into my head. Besides the storytelling, because I will always walk into a room to tell the story of that couple and honor that. But I'm always thinking about the next level. How can I bring up my next client?
Yeah. No, that is really great, because I often hear like you have two bosses, the couple and the planner, and it's like, yeah, having that third in there of, this is your potential next client, this is the one that you
Yes.
want to speak to. And especially those weddings where you're just like, oh, it's the same venue that I've shot at 20 different times over the years and nothing has changed and it all looks the same. And just kind of like, it's very easy to get into, like, especially if you're like a preferred vendor at a certain venue, it's like, well, I'm going out there again. Okay. And it's very easy to fall into that rut of like no creativity and where you're just like, okay, well, I did wedding party photos over by this wall, so we'll do that again. And couples photos out in this field, and we'll go do that. And having that third boss as someone that's just like, oh, they haven't seen this yet. They haven't seen this venue at all. So now I need to show them what it can be.
And I love that you talked about the becoming a preferred vendors, because this is amazing, right? That brings revenue into our business, but we can actually fall into that pattern of doing the same old. So there are two things that I always think about too. Clients want for you to be predictable, right? So if I am hiring you as a wedding photographer for my next year wedding, I want for you to deliver what I hired you this year to deliver next year, period. However, your next client wants to see something different. So that's where my perspective of having two bosses come into place. A lot of photographers also come to me and say, but you're going to change whatever the client paid you to do. It's like, no, I'm just going to deliver two different things for them. They will receive what they paid me to deliver, but I'm always going to go one step ahead and deliver one other thing for them. So I'm over delivering at every time, portraits or reception details, because I'm constantly thinking about the next level. And guess how many times I got a complaint about that?
Yeah,
Zero. They always come back to me and say like, oh my gosh, you made my ex look 5 times better. Like, you made my reception looks 5 times better. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you made, these portraits close by a dumpster to look, close to a dumpster looks so luxurious. Yep. Because I'm always thinking one step ahead.
Yeah, no, that I really like that, because it takes us out of the mindset of like, well, I guess I'm just stuck here. I'm stuck at this level, and this is just what I'm going to keep doing. And I see a lot of people moving toward like going to do styled shoots and everything, which I think styled shoots are great. They definitely have a place. But it's also hard whenever your whole portfolio is barn weddings or like a KC hall or something small, not a lot of decorations. Like, that's most of your work. Your full galleries are there if a couple ask for a full gallery, and then you have like the styled shoot that is sprinkled in there that is not going to show that consistency that a potential future couple would see and be like, okay, I see a lot of this, and then this looks really great, but I don't see that all the way through. So I love this way of just like, yeah, shoot for the couple that hired you, but then over deliver with the elevated photos, the next level of what you're wanting to do. Because
exactly.
Yeah. Because even like telling someone like, oh yeah, this was by a dumpster. Like, like there was a dumpster right to the left of me when I took this photo, and it looked this good. Imagine how much better your venue is going to look that doesn't just have random dumpsters all over the place.
Exactly.
Have you ever learned something that you feel like you learned way too late in life? I feel like that guy from Instagram who's like, here's something I didn't know until my 30s, because here is something I didn't know until I was in my 30s. Your savings account can actually make you money. And I'm not talking about like traditional savings accounts that are making you like 0.01 to 0.3% interest, just pennies. That's pennies, people. I'm talking 1.5 to over 4% interest. That doesn't sound like much, but if you're talking numbers, let's say you have like $5,000 in your savings account for taxes at the end of the year, that's the difference between accruing $15 and $200 extra dollars. Now, this is a high yield savings account. I've talked about these a few times on the podcast, but now I have partnered with SoFi to bring you a little extra money. Whenever you start your free high yield savings account through SoFi, they will deposit an extra $25 in there for you for free. That's literally free money. And yes, this high yield savings account is just like a normal savings account where you can access your money. You don't have to like wait for 7 to 10 business days until you can get anything out. It's a normal savings account, except you're making more money. So go to allheartphoto.com/SoFi. That's allheartphoto.com/SOFI and let your money make you money.
Oh, one thing, my pet peeve is mulch. I don't know why I hate mulch. Even in my house, like my husband wants to put mulch everywhere. I'm like, please don't cover that in flowers. Like I don't like mulch. So I'm always looking for mulch and ways to not show it, especially here in Pennsylvania, like in Lancaster especially. You have so much mulch because, lots of greens and things outside and people really like mulch. So I will photograph like something white, but guess what I'm going to show? The close up. So one thing that I had to change in my mindset is like, I don't have to show everything. I don't. I have to be the curator. I really need to curate my work and only show what I want to attract. And that goes back to having a very defined ideal client and only speak to that ideal client. And another thing that I see photographers doing is to keep communicating the language of your current ideal client.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my current ideal client. And then you keep attracting the same barn weddings, or nothing wrong with barn weddings, by the way.
They have a place. They can be gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah. And if that's what you want to do, show them.
Yeah.
But if you want to move away from them, you don't have to live on the excuse that, oh, I'm a preferred vendor here. I'm going to be here because I was planted here. There's no way for me to grow, because there is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think that is a big thing, is that mindset, because we often limit our own beliefs with our mindsets and just like, well, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I am. Or, one day I'll get up there. Or like we even raise our prices to be on more of that higher end elevated work, hoping to attract those high end clients and maybe booking like one or two, but then it's just a bunch of crickets because your mindset is still in the, well, they're probably not going to hire me, or I'm going to get the same ones because I don't get booked at the country clubs all that often, or I don't get like the cool, Parisian looking mansions. And instead, like, change your mindset. Like I hear people talk about, like changing your mindset to like a millionaire mindset of like, think about what you like, what would a millionaire be doing? Like what do they do? Are they waking up? Are they sleeping in till 9 a.m. or are they getting up early? And are they going for a run? Are they meditating, clearing their head? Are they just, jumping on Netflix and watching some shows before work? And like starting to put yourself into, what does someone who like attracts elevated clients, attracts the higher end, what would that John be doing? And now I'm going to start doing some of those things.
And I love researching things about psychology and neuroscience and how this can affect businesses. So there is a very cool study that shows that the neurons that fire when we think about something are the same ones that fire when you're experiencing something. So these study shows that the neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to adapt, it's incredible, right? So when you think about and feel, like, close your eyes and think about the person that you want to become and allow yourself to feel it, our mind is actually creating new neural pathways for you to become, because the neurons that fire are the same ones that fire when we're experiencing it. So look how powerful this is. If you want to become somebody, believe that you are somebody. And I don't believe in manifesting. I don't believe in, in things like that. but there's so much power, and this is actually studied. This is science. This is science. You can transform, rewire your brain to become who you want to be just by thinking about what you want to be. And guess what's going to happen? Your mornings are going to change. You're going to be more into your work. You're going to work harder. You're going to walk into the venue that you walked before 100 times before, but now you have the $1 million mindset, right? Like, I am who I believe I am, so I'm going to become that person that I believed. And then you want to walk there, you're going to change more pictures. You're going to say, you know what, I'm going to take a few extra steps and change my angle and make this photograph a little bit better, because my future client will want to see this, and you will attract that, and you're going to raise your prices. I'm blown away by the power that we have
Yeah.
right here.
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. And we
It's
don't think
incredible.
about it much because it's like, it's not seen. You're just like, I don't know. I have a brain. It does things. It tells me when I'm hungry. And like, it's like, there's so much that we don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
even, neuroscientists are just like, we're still finding out new things about the brain.
Yeah. Not long ago, people used to believe that you are who you are. There's no way to change. And now these studies in neuroplasticity that shows how much flexible and how much your brain can change, and goes to the other way too. If you think that you are miserable, you only shoot in the same place, oh, nobody's going to book me. If I raise my prices, I'm going to stay in the same way. You are going to feel what you are thinking, and you're going to become. Because we think, we speak, we become. And it goes both ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I love that about like your brain is actually creating neural pathways. And like, it is very easy when you've been thinking the same thing and you've been doing the same thing, like those pathways, those ruts are deep, and it is harder to move that into a new lane. But the more and more that you work on having a different mindset, and the more and more that you do those things and like and show up for those 5 photos for your future couples, it's like, I mean, because also like five photos is not much during the span of the day. That's just like, they had, they wanted like some photos with their shoes, and it's like everyone's getting ready. And it's like, I can take these Jimmy Choos and go like hang them from like the floral arch or something, and like really elevate this. It's going to look more elevated than just like, oh, I'm just to take a picture of them by the couch.
Exactly. And also thinking about the Jimmy Choos is a great example, because it just you remind me of something. I had a bride once having this beautiful Jimmy Choos, right? I'm not even going to say the color, because the bride's going to, she's going to know who she is.
She is.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful,
They were
beautiful.
lime green.
Almost, no, just kidding. But beautiful Jimmy Choos, extremely expensive pair of shoes, right? So one could think, I'm going to photograph this, put on my website everywhere, and this is what is going to make me call myself a luxury photographer. However, if you are always thinking about your future a client, the ones that you really want to attract, you have to reevaluate. These photos never saw the day on my website, because my future brides, the ones that I want to work with, they do not love these type of shoes.
Yep.
Is the style of the shoes, the color of the shoes, not the brand, not the name. So they would look and we're going to say like tacky, pass. And what happened is, when you are photographing something for your bride, for your client, that's their style. It doesn't necessarily has to be yours, right? So once my mentor said that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so true. Your future clients, when they're reviewing your portfolio, they will not say, oh, these photos in Juliana's portfolio because her bride liked these shoes. No, they're going to associate it to me, to my brand, they're going to perceive me as that brand. So knowing that, even though those shoes that I photographed was a Jimmy shoes, the style of the Jimmy shoe does not speak the language of the client that I want to reach. Therefore, they were not on my website. even though I photographed, cheaper shoes, but more delicate, more feminine, more, in the way that speak the language of my client, my future client. Those are the ones that I'm going to put in my portfolio. So the curation is not, and the curation for luxury and for elevating your brand is not only about brand names or, going to that to have a Chanel bag. That's not what's going to attract your high-end, high-paying client.
Yeah, exactly. Because having those lime green shoes up there, no one's going
Just
to be
because
like,
they're Jimmy shoes. Yeah.
just because they're Jimmy shoes. Yeah, it's like, I've seen some very expensive shoes, some very expensive dresses that I'm just like, this is yours for sure. You picked this. This is you. But it is not quite what I think my ideal couple, like future couple, the people that I'm trying to attract are really going to be looking for. This is not the inspiration for them. This is not what their Pinterest looks like. And I think having that in your mind, again, with the way that you're showing up with your mind on a wedding day, having that in mind of just like, okay, is this something that I'm going to, like, for sure still take pictures of it because this is part of their day. But
boss number one.
yes, boss number one. They're boss number one. We're talking about boss number 3. So we're already showing up for 1 and 2 already. And then boss number 3 is like, okay, what can I take here that would be good for boss number 3? Maybe the shoes are out. Maybe there's this really pretty ivy wall over here that like half of it's dead, so I'm not going to get the wide shot. I'm just going to get the part where we have like this really beautiful, background and then some ivy growing over it. And that could be like a great, like kind of empty space filler post. But like that kind of thing where you're moving through the day thinking about that boss number 3 for 5 photos. And after like 10 weddings, you got 50 photos. That's like a whole portfolio.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't realize that you don't need to have a lot for marketing.
Yeah.
You just need to have strong pieces, not a lot of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, until you don't have that full gallery that you are very, very, very proud of, create a highlight gallery. Never lie to your clients, like your prospective clients. This is going to come back to you and bite you. So if they ask for a full gallery, show them the full gallery. If you are not proud of that full gallery, tell them why. Tell them why. Hey, I photographed this 3 years ago. I believe that I'm much better now. I just want to share with you, but can I also send this gallery, which is the highlight of my the weddings, includes some editorial shoots that I photographed before, but this aligns more with my values, align more with the vision, and more with what you can expect on your wedding day. Your clients are going to love for that. Hey, she was honest, but here's what she can do for me. And you go from there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That honesty of showing that. Cause a lot of times like they're not noticing that date says 2021 on the wedding. They're just like, oh, was this, last week? I don't know. I'm just looking through this right now in this moment. I'm thinking 2025. And like you telling them like, oh yeah, this was a similar venue, but it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So keep that in mind. And, this was, they wanted this kind of style. So it's a little bit different than what you're looking for. Like that kind of honesty and also like guidance of their expectations to where you're not just, throwing it out there, hoping that they like it. It's like, I'm going to kind of give a couple caveats to what you're looking at. And then this, sending that portfolio gallery is always great to where they can like envision where you are now and what you're doing now.
Yeah. So once I was at a conference, I believe it was at a Show It conference. Like I'm dating myself. Show It doesn't even, the conference forever.
The United. I was wearing my Show It United shirt like a couple days ago. I was like, those were good times.
Oh my gosh, I missed those conferences so much. They were, anyway. So I was at a conference and I believe it was Dave. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking his name. Dave and Krista. They do website. I forgot his last name.
Davey.
Yes, it's going to come
Davey?
back to me. I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
I give credit to him because he said something several years ago that I will never forget. And I use this forever. So he said what brides really want to see, especially in a portfolio, that first picture above the fold, the first picture they open on your website is, can she do that for somebody like me? That changed the way I approached things because your future client, all they want to see, it's not the pretty flower, that you have a place for that in your gallery, but they want to see if you can do that for somebody like them. Like they want to see themselves in your pictures. They want to see their wedding in your website. They want to see if you are able to capture the moments in between, like grandmother crying, watching her walking down the aisle. So those are the moments that they are concerned about. So if you have those in your galleries, if you have those to share, again, 5 images, can you do this for somebody like me? Always answer this question when you're curating your website. And remember that your future brides want to see themselves in your photos. So that's why you curate, right? The Jimmy shoes are not going to be in my photos because they want to ask, they want to see themselves. They want to see their style in your photos. And that's golden.
Yes. Yeah. No, I love that quote, and I love that idea of like, can they want to see themselves in this? Like, that is what you want. You want that hero image to be something that they're just like, oh, that's what I want.
Yes.
I can see myself there. I can see myself like, this isn't even remotely our venue. That's not the dress that I have picked out. Like, but I can see what you captured there. I want that.
Yeah.
Like, there was and I just looked it up while you were talking, is Davy Jones.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I was like, it is something that like I feel has to do with pirates, but I don't remember what it was. And isn't Davy Jones a pirate? Davy Jones Locker or something? I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm gonna use my Brazilian card. I don't know.
There you go. But yeah, no, Davey and Krista are great. And I love their Brands That Book podcast too. Really good for marketing.
Yes.
But like, yeah, I saw a TikTok recently of like, it just started pouring down raining during someone's wedding day. And they were like under the tent in the backyard, and everyone's just kind of like huddled in. And then the couple just grab each other's hands and run out in the middle. And then they're, running around, spinning around in the rain, just completely drenched. The bride's hair is just like a complete mess now. And like the groom's white shirt is just completely see-through. And like everyone's just dancing. And then it was just like clips of the groomsmen running and like sliding down a hill like penguins on their chests. And like that is not for everyone. Like that vibe, a lot of people don't want rain on their wedding day. You're not going to want to get all drenched. You're definitely not going to want to get all muddy. And like that might not be your vibe, but like the feeling of that and how everyone was just so joyful and just having the best time with their friends and their family. And just like there was so much joy there that it was just like, oh, that's what I want. Like just watching that as a photographer, I was like, well, that's what I want from my wedding too. Like that would have been, we also like, we made our wedding very much us, to where we were just having a lot of fun. But like, that's what I want for everyone, is just to have that joy.
Yes. And those are the moments, like the joyful moments, the emotions, if you approach a wedding as a storyteller and you capture that, you are going to be able to connect with your future clients. And this is a great example. Like this is something that happened, right? He's all muddy, not for everybody, but how can you make this for you? Let's pretend this is not your brand. You're not an adventure photographer. You're more like a Polish photographer. You're going to photograph that, the mud, the groom going down the hill, but you can get closer, get your 70 to 200, like get the emotion. Maybe the bride is throwing her head back and laughing hysterically, and you can see the raindrops coming. You're still telling the story of that moment, and you're selecting 5 of those images that can go on your website, and your marketing piece can be like, what if it rains on your wedding day? Can it still look as emotional and fun and luxurious? Here's how. And then you have boss number 1. It's very happy with the gallery, with the groom going down, belly down, all muddy. He gets that picture, but your future client, your third boss, get that close up that does not show the mud, but shows the joy, shows the emotion, the laughs, the moment. And that's connection. That's luxury. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think we have this, like, there's been this, this false idea of what luxury actually is in the market for, at least for sure the last 5 years. I've seen a ton of it, but it's been there, where I feel like it's starting to shift out of the luxury means, red bottom shoes, and luxury means, $100,000 floral budget, and luxury means all of these different things, where luxury just means like it's more elevated. It's not the bare bones of like, well, I can all we can afford is the burlap and lace for the tables. It's like luxury is, it's elevated. It's not wild, crazy $1 million weddings, which are luxurious, but it means something different.
You are touching at something that, number 1, is very dear to my heart, but I have an unpopular opinion, and I agree with you.
I love unpopular opinions.
All sorry, not sorry. But I love that we are having this conversation right now, because I really think that the industry needs to stop chasing luxury. What is luxury for you? Because that's how I burn out. That's one of the reasons that I burn out. Okay. 2023, I was working extremely hard, busting myself, like literally, like I went to Paris twice. I was doing everything for luxury.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need to pause. What is luxury for me? What is luxury for you? Luxury means something different for every people. So there is this idea in this wedding industry that luxury means you are going to photograph weddings, that you as a photographer are going to charge $20,000 minimum to show up for 8 hours. Is that what you want? Because when I was getting closer to a point that it was like, okay, I feel good, I think I'm closer to luxury, I was like, is this luxury? Leaving my son back and not being able to be with him, is this luxury?
Mm-hmm.
Is this luxury, like leaving my family, working to a point that I'm burnt out? What for? If I stop and look back, the weddings that I shoot today, it's luxury. Everything's luxury for somebody, especially in the economy like today. Going to Walmart and getting groceries is luxury for somebody. So once you change this mindset and stop seeking that 1%, nothing wrong with that. I really hope people understand what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong about chasing the next level, but chase the next level with a clear vision that you are chasing what you want, not what people in this industry is saying that you need to be successful. So we always going to be photographing luxury for somebody, because maybe somebody didn't have enough money to buy those burlaps and create those centerpieces with burlap from Michael's, but that's luxury for them.
Yeah.
That's luxury for them. Their aunts and whoever got together and created those pieces. And if you as a photographer accept to photograph this job, do not walk in rolling your eyes when you see the burlap. You walk in and you say, you know what? I was paid $1,000 to be here. I am luxury for somebody. I'm going to photograph this as if I was paid $1 million. And guess what's going to happen? You will grow. If you approach that wedding with a servant heart, getting your best. Remember what I was saying about elevating. How can I get this wedding with a burlap centerpiece? Make this look at least a little. It doesn't have to be luxury at like the 1% that people in the industry are saying that you need to be successful. But how can I make this look $1,000 more expensive?
Yeah.
Your clients are going to love it, and your future clients are going to find it. Believe me, they will find you. They're going to thank you. And when you walk in with this servant heart, you're going to be referred. It doesn't matter how much more, like you raise your prices, they're going to be like, you know what? I'm paying for her, not for somebody else. So she's still luxury to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I love that servant heart of just like, wanting to show up and photograph it at its best, and not walking in with your nose up high and just like, ugh, this again. Yeah, I
Yes.
can't believe that this is the decor. They're doing bright red flowers. Are you kidding me? Blush is in right now. And like that kind of thing. It's just like, no, this is what they chose. This is what maybe what they could afford, maybe what they really love. And, sometimes
True.
it could be that maybe they had a family member that passed away who loved red roses. And like, that's part of why they chose these bright red roses.
And this goes back to what I was talking about storytelling. If you stop and learn, stop of complaining about the red roses, and you learn that the red roses were actually chosen to pay homage to somebody they loved.
Yeah.
When you write a blog post about that story, guess what's going to happen? You're going to resonate with so much people because there's power in storytelling. So you shift from a mindset of, oh, this again, I'm never going to be able to elevate my work because of this. No, now you took a piece of storytelling, and then you're telling your future bride, that's the reason why these red roses are here. And they're going to value that way more, even though on their wedding is not going to have red roses, but they're going to be able to resonate because of the story behind it.
Mm-hmm. And then going back to that hero image that they want to see themselves in, they can see themselves in the story that you're telling with the roses that are not their style, but they can see like, oh, you captured their story so well. I have absolute trust that you'll be able to capture mine. And Juliana, this has been so good. I love this so much. Is there any last words you want to share with the listeners to like maybe some baby steps of what we can do, some mindsets we can shift to start elevating our work today?
Absolutely. Practical stuff. Start paying attention. Like, this is so simple, but I guarantee you that if you start paying attention to these little details, you're going to be able to elevate your work immediately. Like, pay attention to exit signs. Like, they are everywhere. Is that something that you can shift your body and kind of like use the body of the bride and groom to cover that exit sign? Outlets. Can you remove that in post-production? So go the extra step, even though like I know going to Photoshop and removing distractions is annoying because you have to spend more time editing, but they are worth it. This is how you're going to be able to demand a price increase without being ghosted, because clients are always running into the subconscious. They may not understand why they are drawn to your photos, but if you use these techniques, when they compare your picture with the picture from somebody else, they're not going to know why, but they're going to be drawn to you. So go the extra mile, take the extra time, either in post-production or even before you click on the shutter, and elevate your images. Eliminating distractions is an easy step that you can take today. And mindset, if I can only leave one thing for you, it's you think, you speak, you become. So what do you want to become? So start like getting out of those conversations in your mind, like, oh, I'm never going to get paid that much. Oh, I cannot do this because I don't have a wedding with planners, or I cannot raise my prices because my clients don't have that budget for floral. Get out of those conversations. Don't leave any room for intrusive thoughts. What do you want to become? Once I heard Jasmine start saying, you want to be a ninja? Think like a ninja, act like a ninja, say you are a ninja, and you're going to become a ninja. Yeah. And this is based in science. So what do you think You say what you say, you become. So watch what you're thinking, believe in who you are, and go after your dreams, because they're gonna come true.
Yes. I love it. Okay. This is so good. Before we wrap up and let people know where they can find you and follow along and all that, I like to do something where we talk about what we're loving this week. It can be literally anything, book, TV show, movie, whatever. What are you loving this week?
Oh my goodness, I just wrapped a series called The Residence. It runs in the White House, so it's
Okay.
kind of like who've done type of show. It's
I like those.
hilarious. It's so good. The main character is the same one, the crazy eyes from Orange is the New Black. Remember her? Like she was, yeah.
Okay.
It's such a unique show. It's funny. It's intriguing. It's engaging. Oh my gosh. I am so sad it's done because I wanted to actually keep watching. I hope they come back for a new season. It was amazing. It's so cool.
Yeah, those are the best ones where it's just like, oh, the 8 episodes are over already. Okay, I need another season right now. Okay,
Exactly.
I have not even heard of this, so
Oh my gosh,
that
so good.
is it. It sounds like something I would really like too.
Yeah, and you can find it on Netflix.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, sweet. Okay, Residence.
The Residence.
The Residence. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm also loving a show. I'm not quite finished with the first season yet, but it's very interesting and very kind of sci-fi-ish, but it's like one of those where every episode or so things changed where you're like, oh, is this what the show is about now? And it has like Nick Offerman and Allison Pill. They're two of the main people. But yeah, it's a really interesting. It kind of follows the story of this woman whose husband dies or boyfriend dies at work, and then she's like trying to figure out what happened, and there's a lot of cover up and a lot of different things. And
oh my gosh, what is the name?
It's called Devs, DEV.
And where can I find it?
It is on Hulu.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy about TV shows. Like this is one thing that if I don't watch myself, I can spend hours binging watching.
Me too. I have to let myself like watch while I'm doing something else. Like I watch shows a lot while I'm washing dishes, and just like set up my phone, got my ears in, and just like
same.
I can do that while I'm doing something, so I still feel productive.
Yes.
And I'm not just like, okay, well, let's go on to episode 3 now. But yeah, a really interesting show. And I thought that Nick Offerman was going to be like a cameo and then just like move along, but he's been here the whole time. And I like Nick. Cool. He's fun. But yeah, okay, well, cool. I'll have links to both of those for everyone. And where can people find you online and say hi and connect?
Yes, please say hi. I love connecting with people. My Instagram is Juliana Tomlinson Photography and Juliana Tomlinson Education. Please, if you come and give me a follow, make sure you DM me. I love connecting with new people, so make sure you say hi.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I will have links for all that so everyone can easily just go over and follow and DM, say hi, share what you liked about this episode. But yeah, Juliana, thank you so much for being on the show. This was so great to just like reconnect. I feel like we got to talk a good bit at the conference, and this is just like next level. I love it.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. And you especially. Thank you so much. It was an honor and a pleasure to be here. And I hope to see you again soon.
Yes, I'm sure we'll run into each other at another conferce or something. Or I'll come up to Pennsylvania and we can hang out.
Oh my goodness. Please do. Please do. Even though the weather in Dallas is always better.
No, not during the summer. It is
that's
terrible
true.
Here. Maybe we can plan something over the summer. Come up.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. As always, you can check out all the show notes and free resources at podcast.allheartphoto.com. Follow us online over on Instagram quite a bit at wit.pod. I didn't forget it. It was stuck. It was like I could feel it on my tongue and it wasn't moving. Wit.pod, WITT.pod on Instagram. Be sure to follow Juliana. She just said it, but Juliana Tomlinson Photography, and also her educational stuff at Juliana Tomlinson Education, which is all linked in the show notes. You can just click over there and give her a follow. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to this podcast. So we're dropping in your feed again next week with another great conversation. Until then, I will see you next time. I really need to work on like an outro catchphrase because I'm always stumbling over everything. All right. Until then, I will see you next time. Bye.